Saturday afternoon. I am running the Manchester Marathon tomorrow. I've been training for the last few months, and we're doing a live stream just as I'm driving up. Got nothing else to do. So got my good friend Ben, who's holding the camera, so
G'day.
I'm not driving illegally. And yeah, just thought I'd answer a few questions, talk a little bit about how I'm feeling tomorrow. Had a few questions actually sent across to me on Instagram, so I thought I'd answer them here as well. So yeah, nice to be with you. Bun is going to act as the question master and relay any kind of live comments to me if anybody tunes in. If you have just stumbled upon this, please do like and subscribe. I've got a whole series of videos kind of charting my journey to run this marathon. It sort of started as a bit of a crazy whim. I don't really like doing running events because there's a lot of logistics involved. I've got a bag full of stuff in the boot. I've got to arrive ridiculously early in the morning into Manchester prepared, and ordinarily I just like putting on a pair of trainers and going out for a run. So this is a lot more complicated than I like. So my videos tell a bit of that journey, and I talk a little bit about mental health, so do check them out and enjoy them. So then, the pain of going in and out of reception, and what I'll say is any questions that you might have, leave in a comment below and I'll answer them via text, or maybe I'll do a specific Q&A video at some point. But until this next, if it drops out again one more time, then that's it, we finish. So that's what we do. Have we dropped out? We're still
We're still here. We're still here.
Yeah, so the principles of Phil Maffetone's training is that you spend all of your time training below your math pace, which is your maximum aerobic function. So for me, it's all based on heart rate. My math heart rate is 142. So I've spent the majority of my training doing long runs at 142 beats per minute or less. With all that being said, I have occasionally sort of done some faster runs and runs that have gone over that, which isn't strictly the way that Maffetone suggests that you do it, but I sort of take some of what I like from there, and also sort of done followed quite a bit of the philosophy of the 80-20 approach, which is 80% of your training is under that math pace, and then 20% is harder. So I've done a lot of miles. I am a bit obsessive, so I actually run every single day. Even in my tapering, I have run every day. So that means that I've not actually had a day off. But yesterday, for example, I just ran 1 mile. So I'll do 20 minutes or so when I arrive in Manchester this evening, just to kind of loosen the legs after driving up from Salisbury. And I've not followed a training plan at all, so don't really like that kind of rigidity and structure. So this is kind of, I'm winging it very much so with this, and we'll see. This is my first official marathon, so we'll see what kind of result that gives me. I may then do a second marathon later in the year with a very structured training plan and just see what the difference is. I don't think I'm at my fittest. I think I definitely can be fitter than this. So, there's definitely scope to mix up the training a little bit more. Any other questions? We're still online.
Yeah, we're still online. Yeah, it's working. Okay. So then, following up from that, so your training itself you don't actually follow a set program.
Yeah.
How about on race day itself? Do you have sort of an idea of your strategy in that regards, or are you just playing it loose as well?
I think I'm gonna sort of play it loose. I've got a Pace Pro strategy set up on my watch, which is for 3 hours. And honestly, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do that or not. I'm hoping that I'll have the guy with the flag in my sights for the 3 hour pace. I know that I can do half marathon at that speed. It's whether I can keep that going over the full distance. I've done some decent long runs in training. I've done some significantly faster, shorter runs. So because I've not done the formal plan, I kind of just don't know. Certainly the key thing for me is going to be controlling my heart rate. So probably going to aim to keep it within about sort of 150 to 160. So that's kind of zone 3 for me. Towards the end, I anticipate it probably going a bit harder as if I'm pushing a little bit. The key really is obviously controlling the heart rate. Also, just keeping on top of the nutrition and hydration. So my family and Bun are going to be sort of at various points with some electrolyte drinks, and I've got 6 gels, so I'll take a gel every half an hour, and really hoping that will get me through. I've just had a big lunch earlier. I've had some good porridge this morning. I think we're going to have some pizza or pasta for dinner, so really trying to just load up those muscles with glycogen, just make sure that I've got plenty of energy to burn tomorrow. Obviously I'll have a hearty breakfast tomorrow as well, so yeah, I think the training's done, the prep's done, so it's really just going to be a wait and see. Obviously the one thing that you can't train for is kind of the adrenaline and the impact of the crowd and people. I always am very aware that if I'm running up a hill, for example, and there's nobody around, I run it a damn sight slower than if I'm running up a hill and there's somebody else running up ahead of me. I always instinctively want to get in front of the person in front of me. So having the crowd just could be a real kind of mental encouragement for me. So I also hate attention, so that's the other side of it. It could completely overwhelm me.
Yet you're on live, right?
And yet I'm doing this. I don't know, I'm an absolute bag of contradictions, that's the word. I was going to say I was a bag of hypocrites, but that's not right at all. A bag of contradictions, absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions? I can't believe we're actually still live.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So I actually have a follow-up question for that, because you're doing it based on heart rate, right?
Yeah.
For me, when I did my first 5K,
yeah,
my heart rate was really, really elevated before I started running, just because being nervous, and then the crowd, like you said, the MC.
Yeah.
So then at that point, do you still follow your heart rate, or is it more pace-based at that point?
I think at the start, it's been a number of years since I've done any kind of event like this. I think you have to kind of, the first 2 or 3 miles, in my experience, tends to just be, you kind of almost have to just go with it. There's lots of, you do the heart rate, or rather you do the warm up, and there's the excitement. Everybody always goes off way too fast. Everybody says, I'm going to take it really slowly, but you get carried along in this crowd, and everybody's darting around each other, and I think it takes a couple of miles to kind of find that rhythm. So I won't necessarily be too worried. But actually, if you when you think about it, if I was to run that first mile a minute slower, over the next 25 miles, I basically just have to, run 2 seconds faster for each of those miles than I'd planned to catch that time up. So it actually to just, if I can make myself start a little bit slower, it's not hard to catch up. It's a lot harder to go out really fast and then be tired for the rest of the run. So I'll really try not to get too excited at the start. Yeah,
so start off slow, finish hard is what you're saying.
Yeah,
all right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then the fun stuff, all of the gear that you have for race day and running, did you get any new gear specifically for this race?
Yeah, so I got some new shoes. I'll be doing a full kind of gear review later, so I don't want to kind of spoil it, but these particularly I am excited about. So the Saucony Endorphin Elites, carbon plate, super responsive. They're really, encourage you to turn your legs over quite fast, and frankly they're just a real pleasure to run in. So those I'm really excited about. I also bought a pair of shorts that are just so not the kind of shorts that I would normally ever wear. I normally just wear, as you can see, I'm literally wearing like black jeans, black top. I'm not that guy that would go out wearing like super flamboyant clothing. So I've got some brilliant shorts, which you'll see tomorrow. I might look like an absolute plonker, but who cares?
Regardless of the shorts, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So, yeah, excited about that. Got a new fuel belt to put my gels in and hang my race number on and a few things like that. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much gear involved in running. It's extraordinary, really. So I'm excited to wear it all.
Is there a big difference between like your regular training runners versus race day runners?
Oh yeah. So my regular race at the moment, my regular training shoes are the Invincible Run 3s. Much heavier, really cushioned, very padded, and I suppose what you've got to think is, as your foot's hitting the ground, the foam is designed to really absorb a lot of that energy. So that energy is getting passed through your body. So whilst you can still run fast in them, the foam is absorbing some of the shock. With the carbon plate, the carbon is kind of absorbing that energy and then it's giving it back to you. So it's actually helping you to keep running faster. So it's a much firmer ride. Still feels very cushioned and comfortable, but you're getting much more spring. So you're not losing energy through your feet. I mean, I think it's effectively storing energy, like kinetic energy, maybe potential energy. Yeah, it's been a long time since I did my GCSE physics actually, so I'm not gonna wade in on this. But effectively, think of it like a spring coiling up like this. I'm steering with my knees, just in case anyone's wondering, and then it. So yeah, very much, which is what our fascia system in the body, that's what that does as well. So think of things like your Achilles tendon, the plantar fascia band on your foot. It's all designed to store energy and release it as you move. So yeah, these shoes just will help in that process. Anecdotally, the fastest marathon ever run, Eliud Kipchoge, he ran those in I think a pair of Nike Alpha Flies, I believe, and similarly very, very lightweight, carbon fiber, fast and furious.
Oh, fun.
Any other questions, Mr. Question Man?
Ooh. Overall, how are you feeling? Race day's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're driving up to Manchester, so I'd imagine you're thinking a lot about it.
Yeah.
Excited, nervous, ready,
Bit of
pumped up.
Yeah, all sorts. Really nervous, butterflies, feel almost a bit sick.
I have that effect generally, yeah. So yeah.
Also just feeling like really excited, just can't wait for it to be done, can't wait to get back to normal. The last few weeks I've been so conscious of like, I don't want to get injured, I don't want to miss this, I don't want to get ill, I don't want to miss this. And so it will just be nice to kind of know that I don't have to get out and do any training. I will no doubt on Monday morning get straight back out and run because I love it and I enjoy it. And honestly, I look forward to just being able to go out and just go, I'm just going to do this because I enjoy it, until I decide to do something else.
Fun. So with that being said, this is going to be your first marathon.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How are we going to celebrate once you finish? What are the plans?
The plans. Well, I suppose obviously being conscious that I need to drive home. I think definitely it's going to involve Nando's at some point. Love Nando's, and feels like perfect recovery food. I think maybe on return to Salisbury, I think there'll be some gin. I think maybe some bubbles. I think probably a beer straight after the race as well, maybe. Equally, I'm kind of not really kind of okay, I'm just going to go on a big blowout and eat loads of stuff, and like, you know, generally I'll kind of, you know, celebrate for a day, but on Monday I guess I'm just back to work, back to training, back to, you know, make it sound like I'm an Olympic athlete, but I'm not. I just really want to be, like, literally, I genuinely want to be the very best I can be. And I'm not there yet. I know that I can be faster, so I just want to hold all of that intention. So we will celebrate, we will party, but it won't be crazy.
Perfect. I'm waiting for that one. So then, any final messages or thoughts to anyone that might be watching this that's on their way to the Manchester Marathon or on their way to their first marathon?
Yeah.
The Boston Marathon's on this weekend on Monday, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
As well. So unfortunately we can't go to both because one of us didn't qualify.
Both of us.
But yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You have to run a sub 3. I think actually for my age, so I'm in my 40s, so I think I have to probably, I think it's around 3:05. I think that's what it is for the London Marathon. So, you know, that's in a plan for me. But yeah, if this is your first time doing a marathon, you know, like me, I guess just go and enjoy it. You know, you've probably put in the hard work. There'll be some crazy people that haven't put in any work, haven't trained, and will probably cruise through it and get an amazing time. And, you know, those people are just genetically incredibly lucky. But for everyone else, we would have worked hard, been super disciplined over the last few months. You know, an April marathon is always hard because the majority of your training block is in the winter when it's miserable and cold and dark. And so getting this far is a victory, it's a win. So, you know, give yourself a big pat on the back if you're thinking about doing a marathon or a half marathon. Even if you're thinking of doing your first 5K, I would just say get out and do it. Lace up those shoes. Running is such an accessible sport. You don't need to have anything other than a pair of shorts, a t-shirt, and a pair of trainers. That is it. So we were listening earlier to an audiobook. We were hearing about how Pheidippides ran 350. It's a true story. Ran 350 miles over 4 days. He died incidentally. So, you know, let's not let him be our kind of inspiration. But, you know, we're made to run. You know, our bodies are engineered to run. So get out there, do it. You're going to feel so good. Your mental health will be brilliant. Your body will feel great. Your legs might hurt like heck, but, you know, it's all part of the course. So I think that's probably a good time to sign off, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been PKS Runs. Obviously, if you found this video, you've somehow found me. Do leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and watch out for a video this evening, 7 o'clock, 2 hours from now, hour and 51 minutes. There will be a live video which will be going through all of my gear, and there will be a review of the race on Monday night, let's say. So thank you so much for watching. See you all soon.